Okay, so this time we're going to see what's inside this, which is my failed surge guard model 35550 that I just replaced this morning. New one is in and working fine. So we're going to see if we can get this thing apart. Doesn't look like it'll be too bad. I think those are Torx. Find out. Oh man, more plastic screws. Screws made for plastic. Self-tappers, basically. Let's see if this is built like a Ford. Not so far. Looks like a pretty nice piece. Honestly, looking at this, and if you remember my last video where I had to use the wire nuts to put the thing back together, I think once I get this apart, this piece would work as a coupler instead of using the wire nuts. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yep, we're going to save that as a coupler instead of having to use wire nuts. Nice, very fine strand copper wire. That's not terribly cheap. But yeah, so I'm going to save that as a wire nut. So that's good. Or instead of using the wire nuts, if that thing ever fails again, I can just stick this in between the two sets of wires in the camper, and that'll work. That's pretty nice. We got two of them too, so that's handy. Granted, I don't recommend spending $250 extra just to get one of these, but I should have thought of that while I was working on it. Yeah, that would have worked slick. Nice. Pretty good. Looks to be 6 gauge-ish. Not too bad. Pretty nice. Let's see if we can get these off, because these I've played with a little bit before, and they seem to be some kind of security Torx. Either that or they are just the shallowest headed. Yeah, they are a security Torx. I don't want you taking this apart. It appears that all of them are that way. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I may need to take this to the garage and drill those out. Suppose I could just break it, but well, it's broken anyway. Stab myself. Yeah. Alright. Alright, we're gonna go get a little drill. See if I can make this so I can take it apart. Alright, so we're back. See if we can get this thing to focus. They are security Torx. There's a little pin that sticks up in the center. That one was deep enough where it came out. But if you take a drill, a little tiny one, stick it in there, give it a whack, the pin will fall off. Now, if you weren't a butcher, or me, you can actually purchase security Torx tools that have a hole in the center of the thing which goes right over it, and then you can take it out. Oh man, looks like I missed one. Dang it. Let's get the rest of this garbage off. That's how they can tell if you've tinkered with it, if you send it back for warranty work. Now, it's covered lifetime warranty for manufacturing defects and whatnot. Now, obviously mine worked, so there were no manufacturing defects. But I don't believe their warranty covers if the thing actually functions and keeps your camper from failing. So this is no longer warranted. It's several years old anyway. They're all loose. Just a cover. Maybe all loose. Well, that one's gone. Glued together a little bit. Oh yeah. Nice silicone RTV. So I guess that's good. So it's fairly well water sealed. Not much in there. That's where the wires come in and out. Stab myself. Whew. Put together pretty well. Go get a razor blade. Wow. I'm not quite sure how this will fit together. But she's pretty stout. I may just go get a pair of big honking pliers. Oh, wait, we got something under there. There she goes. Need a little persuasion. Yeah, she's got a nice, almost looks like an O-ring around the bottom. Wow. Whew. Nope, no O-ring, just a lot of goo. And a nice, actually, I mean, it's a really nice unit as far as that goes. Wow. Very well sealed. I don't think anything was getting in there. So here is all of this. What do we got here? Line, load. As the white is the neutral, the red and the black are the circuits. We've got what appear to be, that's probably where they're reading the amps, is with that. Really impressive contactor. Man, that's a nice unit. Really clean. I wonder if it's going to be... Looks like that whole thing is stuck in there with silicone. Wow. Now let's get the wires out of the way. This contactor may still be good. That's a nice piece. Oh, it's interesting, the ground just runs straight through. Get to that in a bit. Man, really nicely sealed. And I really like these where they put the ends and crimped them flat so that they bit better into the contactor. I like that. That's pretty nice. So you're not just relying on the copper, although they do that on the outside. No biggie, I guess. Get this wire out here. See what I mean about that going through? There's just one massive crimp connector. Yeah, I'm thinking those are your amp clamps, which is kind of neat because this it does allow you to see the amps being pulled on the readout. That's a tough silicone. Ground that goes to this connector. Okay. That's a. You'll get a better light. So we've got some small wires coming off of the input side of the contactor, where I'm guessing that's what goes to some of the computer stuff. We got some on the output side too. That may be for some balance or just general power to run it to do the computer stuff where it does the analysis before it kicks it over. So I'm gonna try to pull that contactor out right now, see if those Phillips screws are what's holding it in. There's some at the bottom. Oh boy. Yeah, those top Phillips screws are holding the... I may be able to get it. Those top Phillips screws are just holding the cover on to the actual contactor itself. So there's some Phillips screws way down there. We're going to try to pull that contactor out and see if they're loose. That's interesting. They're real sloppy. At least this one is. There she goes. Now, all of this looks fine. And these are the outputs from the incoming power. I'm guessing that this blue wire is what pulls it in. That thunk you hear. That's common. And we've got output power as well. And that is a nice contactor. That is pretty industrial grade right there. Let's save that. Let's get all the nuts and bolts and screws out of it. Oh, look at that. Hey. All right. So, let's see, here's our output, which is just on the back side of the board, and the board is glued. Maybe I can get it off, but it seems to be glued. You got all your LEDs. They're on the top of the board, down in here. What do we got here? Stuff off. Push on it, dummy. There you go. That all disconnected. Yep. Alright. And get that out of the way. Not quite sure what that is, but I see little poop stains in there. The fuses are not blown. We've got a couple of little tiny fuses over here. They're still good. But, see if we can show you this. You can see kind of right there, something right in there is what burned up. Not exactly sure what it is. That little chip doing something appears to have cooked itself. And either that or that little box blew the corner out of it. I'm not sure which. It looks like that may even be cracked. The crack running towards the back of it. Not quite sure. But that's why this thing went to junk. So, at least I did find a problem. Certainly not correctable. But it's really well-made piece. I'm pretty impressed. I mean, that is a seriously industrial contactor. That is a real nice unit. Everything's potted. The wire crimping is really good. I like the fact that they have these little pieces that they seem to have crimped onto it so that the contactor really bites into it well and it's not just biting into the copper. Nice. I mean, everything looks well made, and as I said, I've had this for close to 4.5 years it's been operating. No issues until it cooked itself. Now, whether it failed or it actually took itself out because of a surge, It certainly did occur around the time where we had some serious power problems here, so she seems to have done her job. Yeah, and like I said, I'm very impressed with the quality of this unit. I can see why they charge what they do for them. And like I said, now I got two connectors that if this ever happens again, I just have to screw these together in the unit rather than worrying about wire nuts, which is kind of nice. So, there you go. That's the guts of a Surge Guard 35, 550, 50 amp unit. I would assume the 30 amp is similar, probably a little smaller wire gauge, just the way it's designed for the amps. But we found the smoke trail, and well, that goes in the trash now, except for this piece and these pieces. So, there you go. Hope you're all having a good day. Take care.